Welcome, friends. My name is Avinash Gorakshakar, and I welcome all of you to another interesting episode of Corporate Face to Face series. Friends, as all of you are aware, these episodes help us understand emerging companies from emerging sectors in a much better way. We get to meet the top management, the promoters of such companies, and we get to understand the company's business model, their growth journey, their future growth plans. And in that, case, a lot of valuable information is shared by the company top management, which helps all our investors to take a very conscious investment call here. So, friends, today we are going to talk about another interesting company which operates in the solar space, and the company's name is SUGS Lloyd Limited. And I have the privilege of having, the promoter and the chairperson, Mr. Santosh Kumar Shah. Santosh ji, welcome to the show, and thank you very much for your valuable time. We also have Mr. Satyakam Basu, who's the CEO of the company. Sir, welcome to you also.
Thank you.
Santoshji, first question, without any delay, I think we'd like to understand from you if you could tell us what is the broad business model of our company, and typically, how did you start this business journey? I mean, I believe this is a company which has been started by you. So, typically, if you could tell us something about your initial starting years, the business journey, which could help us understand you in a much better way.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity, Avinash. See, we got ourselves incorporated in 2009, wherein I'll give you a backup of why we came into business and what solutions we came into. Way back in 2009, there used to be power cuts, and those power cuts used to for hours. Even in cities like Mumbai and Delhi, we used to see power cuts for hours.
Yeah,
That was basically because of the breakdown in the lines,
correct.
and the utilities used to take a good amount of time in finding those faults and then repairing it. And used to be that difficult a task. It used to be as good as finding a needle in a haystack. Finding fault in the electricity grid used to be a Herculean task for utilities. So that is where we came into picture. We brought in a technology wherein the identification and locating the fault becomes very easy. The utility could identify the fault and pinpoint the fault immediately. Whenever the fault occurs, they used to get exact location of the fault, and that improved their entire system, their customer service, levels. Their revenue got increased, and everything. So
Yeah.
that was the solution with which we entered into business. And since we have been working with utilities, we got opportunity to execute turnkey projects, construct those grids also. So now from products, then we ventured into constructing those grids on turnkey basis for again utilities. Now our performance has been such a way that those grid owners, they are mostly energy department of those particular states. They insisted us, based on our performance, why not we should start providing our services in solar space also. So then third, we entered into solar space also. We signed contract with certain governments to install solar rooftop plant on all their government buildings. And we entered into one state, then we expanded to other states, and today we are having contract with 5 6 states to install solar rooftop on all the government buildings. So we are having three verticals. Started with electrical products, that is called outage management system, and our competitors in those segments are again companies like Siemens and Schneider. Then we entered into electrical EPC, where we are competing with the like of L&T's, Bajaj Electrical, and Polycab and all. Then we entered into solar space, where we are competing with various players. In solar, there is enough number, we cannot count them. So these were the three verticals we are working into. And recently, based on our performance, our customers, that is electrical discoms of those states, they asked us, why not you start by executing projects in civil space also. So one vertical we started, and the first project we are executing a civil hostel building project for one of the discoms in Odisha.
Okay.
So four verticals we are operating into:
Okay.
products, electrical EPC, solar EPC, and civil EPC.
Understood. Santoshji, one thing which I wanted to understand is, looking at your prospectus, I think solar, operation, solar EPC, solar electrical enjoys a lion's share currently for you. Just on the market opportunity, Santoshji, since you run the business, you will probably have a better perspective. What is your thought process over the next, say, 3 to 5 years? What is the kind of opportunity which is available for a market like India, and how are we planning to capitalize on this growth? So, if you could please share your thoughts.
A very nice question and a very, articulated words these are expressed. I'll the four verticals which we are operating into, these are all high revenue streams. First is outage management system. Now, whatever today sitting in Bombay, we are able to get uninterrupted power supply because the utilities are using the kind of equipments we are having. Whereas the a consumer in rural India, they still see a lot of power cuts. So this solution has to penetrate to the rural level also, which is going to be a huge business opportunity for us. Since we do not have much competition, only few players are there who are providing these technologies. So that entire it's a big opportunity, it's a big volume which is going for us, and it will multiply. Maybe this year we have anticipated a 70% year-on-year growth for our outage management system. Now coming to electrical EPC, again, the metropolitans in India are very well covered. The infrastructure is good. Everybody is getting uninterrupted 24 hours electric supply. But same is not the case for rural India. A huge amount of grid needs to be created, which again brings a huge opportunity for us. And for this, Government of India has also got various ambitious plans to revamp the entire electrical grid of the country. One of those plans is RDSS scheme, where tenders of 50%, that is 1,50,000 crores, is already under execution. Balance, tenders are at various stages. Various state utilities are in the process of either floating the tenders or at planning stage and all. So that is also going to be huge opportunity. Plus, electrical, when solar is getting a big major boom, but the biggest challenge with solar is availability of grids. Whatever power, whatever electricity is generated in solar, they are facing problem in evacuating those powers. So there is a huge potential for grid creation in solar space also. So for electrical, we see a huge opportunity coming. Solar is something I think everyone knows. Again, I will repeat the ambitious plan of government. The 80 megawatts or 100 megawatt, 100 gigawatt is yet to be installed. But that was all more on megawatt scale project. We are operating mostly on rooftop business, where the actual transformation has just started. It is going to be existing for next 10 years or 15 years. We will not be having any dearth of opportunity in this particular segment. And fourth is civil EPC. That is also, in India, we are always a infrastructure deficit country and economy. So huge opportunity is there, which once we have started building credentials and the kind of execution capabilities which we have got, I'm very sure we are going to tap that opportunity also, and it will bring us good amount of revenue.
But I think very nicely articulated by you, Santoshji. Santoshji, now one more thing which I wanted to ask you, which a lot of investors would also like to know, is that you said we operate in about 5 to 6 states, but typically we have got a very high client concentration with one or two customers. Specifically, I see that one customer, Bihar Renewable Energy Corporation, this accounts for about 37-38%. So it is definitely a important client for us. But going forward, post the public issue, are we planning to geographically and strategically also move on to some further more new customers so that we can diversify our customers going forward? So anything on this, sir?
Yes, we have already penetrated in majority of the states in northern India and western part of the country.
Okay.
already, tenders we have been awarded contracts, work has been started. Now this is something which is after filing of RHP, so it doesn't comes into those things.
Correct.
But yes, we have got presence in almost all the states in northern and western part of the country, and then we further improvise it, because we somewhere we make an entry, and then we increase our entire footprint in that particular
Correct.
state. So very soon you'll see that the concentration which we are having in two states, it is going to get diffused, and we'll be having presence in almost every state.
Yeah. So I think very nice to hear that, Santoshji. Santoshji, what's the current order book as on date? If you could, share to our investors, please.
As on date, the unexecuted order value is around 420 crores.
Okay.
And 99% of this order book is from governments only. So
Okay.
we are working for government,
Okay.
and none of these orders is going to get cancelled or like that. So these are all firm orders where we
Correct.
have given the performance bank guarantees and all.
Okay. And Santoshji, one more thing regarding this order book. What is the timeline where we can expect this order to get, converted into revenue for us?
No, this is a continuous process, and now this entire 420 crores order, it comprises of various different contracts in different verticals. There may be 5, 10 contracts in
Correct.
solar, there may be few contracts in electrical, there may be few product contract, and
Okay.
every contract has got its own completion time. So it becomes very difficult to say in how much time we'll be able to complete this 420 crores. What we can say, out of this 420 crores, more than I'll say 70% we will be able to convert into revenue in this financial year,
Okay.
and rest will get spilled over next year.
Okay.
And then there will be certain contracts which we will be further booking. A portion of those contracts will also get converted into revenue in this year, and then it will get
Okay.
it will roll over to next year.
Yeah, no, no, understood. That is, I think, very nice of you to tell us, because that helps us understand what is the revenue visibility for our company. Santoshji, now without looking at the numbers for some time, we operate in a very competitive business, but you still have a very good touch point with a lot of government customers. You're now present, you said, pan India. Sir, tell us one thing in a very simple way. What is the value add we offer to the customer? Like, why do customers come and give us a large amount of business, maybe some large repeat business? In qualitative terms, if you could tell us two, three things, like in a very competitive industry like ours, how are we still able to make a difference with the customer?
Yeah, a nice question. And before giving you the reason, first I'll say, you know, our excellence in execution is demonstrated by the kind of repeat orders we are getting from government. If you'll see, today we are having multiple contracts running with one customer, and these are government customers.
Yeah,
Had we not been a good performer, they can very easily eliminate us or stop us
correct.
from taking any further business. Now, it is well known, it is well accepted, and well recognized that our performance has been good. That's why we have been encouraged so far. Now, the reason why we are able to do, because we we take in our kind of business, EPC business, time is the most important thing, where a project needs to be completed in time, obviously with quality, and that cost and profit, that is our internal. For customer, it is completion in time and as per quality standards. We ensure that whatever projects we have executed or we are executing should get completed in time. For that, we have built up a system, we have built that kind of an environment, infrastructure within organization, which helps us in completing these projects in time. uh, I can say you it is very difficult to in this interview to explain what all systems we have built. But today, irrespective of our size, what volume we are doing, our readiness or our preparedness is for many multiples more than what we are today. So
Correct.
we can rate ourselves among one of the most system-oriented, system-driven organizations in EPC segment.
Okay.
So one more
Okay.
thing I would
Very
like to
nice
add
to
here.
hear that, sir. Yes, Mr. Basu.
So basically, when a customer gives you an order, the first thing that and the last thing that is in his mind is his peace of mind. When he gives you the order, he wants to give the order to somebody who will execute the job properly and in time so
Correct.
that he is not held accountable at the end of the day.
Correct.
And these are all government officers, IAS, and senior officers. They don't want to spoil their career for a lack of performance from a vendor or a
Correct.
supplier or a contractor. So we deliver. Why you said why they come to us? Because we deliver them their peace of mind.
Correct.
That is what we deliver, sir.
Okay. Well, I think very nice to hear that, sir, Mr. Basu. Santoshji, now let's talk about the financials. I was just looking at your FY25 numbers, a very robust performance, sir. 176 crores turnover, 16 crores profit from around 10 crores profit last year. Sir, was it like this was a record year because you had a large order book and you executed pretty well, you got better kind of margins, the product mix was also good. So, sir, what was the exact reason for such a sharp improvement in your profitability? Almost profits have gone up by almost 60% on a YY basis. So if you could tell us some of the key reasons for the improvement.
See, profit in figures, yes, it has increased from 10 crores to 16 crores. But if we talk about percentage, it has remained almost same around it varies from 9.5 to 10%.
Yeah.
The thing is that the kind of qualifications and the kind of credentials we built, we started getting more orders, repeat orders from our customers. And because of that, our entire scale got up. Our revenue increased, our PAT has increased, and the same you know growth will continue for further years also, because we are having that kind of a confidence in us from the customer.
Understood. Sir, just wanted to understand now, typically, Mr. Basu, if you could tell us, since you are the CEO, sir, normally, when a tender is presented by the government, all these orders are tender driven. So typically, what is the timeline for these tenders? When a new proposal is put up, is it like in the next 3 months or 4 months or 6 months, we get to know who's the final, vendor for that project? Typically, how long does this tendering process takes? If you could just, tell us some inputs on this.
Sir, basically from the day the tender is floated, it has in the tender inbuilt date of opening. The date of opening is divided into two parts. One is first the technical part, and then whoever qualifies the technicalities, then the price bid of those people are opened. These are time bound.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is there in the tender itself, date of opening, so and so. So that date of opening, in most cases, is a technical bid opening. And
Yeah.
then immediately follows by, after the technical evaluation is done within the next 15, 20 days, then the people who have qualified technically, their price bids are open because you have to submit both simultaneously.
Yeah.
Then starts the process of processing the order, taking various approvals and all. So I the date the tender is opened. First of all, from the date of the tender to the tender opening is generally 30 days time. 20, 25, 30 days time. From the tender opening, I would say within a month to 1.5 months, most of the cases gets decided that who will get it. Now, there are cases where only one person gets the order. There are cases where multiple people get the order. See, if the quantum of the order is big, then the government decides that, oh, we will not put all eggs in one basket. So then the process starts. They will call everybody who is not lowest, and they will tell them to match the terms and conditions of the lowest bidder. And so that in that process, it might take another 15, 20, 30 days.
Okay. Okay.
So that is what the time frame is.
Okay. No, understood. Santoshji, now the most important question for this interview, we are planning to go public. So it's a historical milestone for personally you and for the company. And, it clearly shows the benefits and the credibility you enjoy. Sir, tell us what is the size of the capital market offering which you are planning to make and what is the purpose of this? How are the funds going to be utilized?
The IPO size is 85.6 crores.
Okay.
And entire proceeds are going to be used as growth fund in form of working capital. Now, this IPO we are not bringing as a sustenance for sustenance. We are bringing it for growth. and entirely it is going to be used for working capital and some general corporate expenses.
Okay.
And the working capital, what we have, given is 65 crores will be used as working capital, and rest will be IPO expenses and general corporate expenses.
Okay. Okay. Understood. Santoshji, now since you spoke about working capital, typically we work with government customers. So, is the working capital cycle slightly elongated? I mean, I want to know this from you because, what we saw in the financials is that somewhere, the profitability has been good, the top line has been good, but somewhere the operating cash flows are not positive. So, can we assume that after this public issue, when you get funds, your working capital cycle will be better and you will be basically be able to generate positive cash flows? Can we expect this in the coming years?
Sir, working operating cash flow will definitely improve, but entire improve it will be a gradual improvement. It cannot improve, immediately after
Yeah.
IPO. As far as working capital cycle is concerned, since we are working with governments, the working capital cycle remains somewhere around 120 to 150 days. So whatever debtor is shown today in books, it is within that working capital cycle.
So understood. I said after the working capital money comes in, I think there will be some benefit to you because your cycle
Yes,
will get better
yes,
because you get money
yes,
which is
yes.
directly from equity, and that will help you
Mhm.
ease your working capital cycle in a much better way. That's what I wanted to know.
Surely, sure.
Yes, that is going to help. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Santoshji, now from an investor standpoint, there is a very simple, expectation from the investor that they take a call on the promoter on the business, they will believe you, and they will invest in your company. And I'm quite sure your issue will be fully subscribed. But from an investor perspective, in a very general way, if you could share some message for the shareholders, because now they will be becoming growth partners in your growth journey, and they will be supporting you. So, sir, if you have any message for them, in the longer term, how do you plan to reward them?
See, figures it since we have got regulatory limitations, we may not be able to quote any figures
Oh,
here,
don't
but I
mention
can
any
only
figures,
give
Santoshji.
general.
Just give us
I
a
can give
general kind of message, which is which is non-financial.
to investors. I would like to say that this company is not going to be a bet for anyone. It's already a proven engine, which is at a very good speed, which is in motion at a very good speed. Now they need to invest with us in our journey and let us grow together.
Okay.
That is what I say. Is it's already proven. Customer knows, industry knows. Now we are growing, so it is an opportunity for everyone to grow together, to
Okay.
grow with us.
Fine. I think they'll share definitely. The investors will definitely support you, Santoshji. There's no doubt about it. Last question, Santoshji, which is also very important, which we ask all the promoters. Typically in our business, what is the most important risk? Is it execution, or is it getting the right contracts at the right time, working capital access? What exactly is the most important risk in our business? If you could please tell us.
The biggest risk as on date in EPC business in India is execution risk. There are many companies, many peers who are able to somehow bag the contracts and all, but they are not able to execute it in time and as per quality requirements of the customer. So that poses it's a huge risk, not in only in terms of overstay, overrun of the projects. It affects the margins also. It affects the profit also, and then slowly it eats away everything, all the credentials which a company has got. To me, execution risk is the biggest risk, and then obviously working capital and all that will remain. But being cautious, being taking precautions, we can somehow manage it. But execution risk is something where one has to be you know extremely serious about that kind of infrastructure, that kind of system, procedures, team, processes needs to be developed so that execution can be done in time and as per quality.
Well, I think you're absolutely right, Santoshji. Ki solar EPC requires a lot of execution skills and managing all processes properly. And in general, of course, the runway for growth is very large. So the opportunity is large, provided as you said rightly, execution is properly taken care of. So both Mr. Basu and Santoshji, it was my pleasure to host you. And please accept my best wishes to you, your entire management team, and sir, best wishes for your public issue also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.